Do you think that Dad would have been pro the voice or not pro the voice? Do you think Dad would have said yes in this referendum, or do you think he would have said no? Do you think he would have been like, it's causing division and it's going to cause division between the so-called races?
See, I'm not quite sure about this thing, but if vote yes to bring the Aboriginals closer, or is that what it is?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't really know what it is.
But if it was
they say it's to give them a voice in Parliament that can, like, they'll always be able to go into Parliament and say, we want this to happen for our community. But the problem I see is that there's not just one Aboriginal community. It's the Aboriginal that will hundreds. Well, I don't know if thousands, but hundreds. Different tribes, different family groups, and they don't all get along. You know, some get along, a lot of them don't get along. So how can one voice speak for all of them? Unless,
that's quite true, actually.
Well, yeah, this is my sort of argument against it. One of my arguments against it, for me, I think it would be the equivalent of going into Europe and saying Germany, Italy, England, Spain,
have to be friends.
No. You guys, the 6 or 5 or 7, whatever, countries have to choose 1 or 2 representatives, like, from all of those to go and speak on behalf of all of you. And I don't think Germany would be happy for, Italy and France to be speaking for them. I don't think England would be happy for Germany or Switzerland to be speaking for them. That's what I see. That's how I think that the Aboriginal nations, there's many nations on this country that we call Australia, and all of those nations, there's like hundreds of them. And then there
hundreds. So are there?
No, there are. There's a map. There's actually a map of Australia that's divided by the different Aboriginal countries. So there's hundreds of different countries, Indigenous countries, on this land, but then obviously divided into 8 states and territories, including Tasmania, ACT, Northern Territory, that are Western-minded territories. This is a strange thing. So then in, say, South Australia, there's, 25 different countries Aboriginal countries in South Australia. Let's just say I don't know enough, but you can see it on the actual map of Australia. How do you choose 2 representatives from all of those different countries to speak for all of them?
Yes.
At Parliament. So they're asking that from each state and territory there will be 2 representatives that can go and speak at Parliament on their behalf. But they don't all get on. They're different nations. Like, they're as different as France is from England or Germany or whatever. That's how I see it. So other things I've heard is that Joshua's been speaking to Aboriginal people up at the rehab centre.
Oh, has he?
Mm-hmm. And he
when
said,
did you speak to him last?
On the weekend I had lunch with him.
Listen.
No. Please don't. That was organised 3 weeks ago. We will get you up there again. But we had a very, very busy day on Saturday, and had to go check at bees at night, 8 o'clock in the morning, where we're going to be putting the bees.
You took bees up to? Did you take bees up?
No, we went to have a look in Norton Summit at a spot. We've got 3 spots in Norton Summit that want the bees, so that's really good. But anyway, we had to do that, then go over to Strathern by 10. Then back down to the planetarium by 4, which was actually 5, so we could have had an extra hour. But it was just a very busy day, and it was just a family thing for me, Michael, and the 2 kids, our day. So that's it. So please don't be offended by that. But anyway, we will go out for lunch again. So, but he was talking to some Aboriginal people up there and asking about it, and they said, well, it's actually basically coming from one major tribe that wants this voice to go through. We don't all want it, and because it's highly divisive. And my other thing is that it's not like I don't think it's going to divide, non-Indigenous Australia by Indigenous Australia. Then we already are divided through, I don't know.
That'd be something like New South
Pretend.
Wales was separate, South Australia is separate, and South Australia would want things that Western Australia wouldn't want, or Northern Territory.
Exactly.
Sort of like that?
It is very similar to that. And it's like saying, well, out of one group, so you've got the 8 different states and territories, but 2 representatives, one from each state gets to say what happens for the whole country. And obviously that doesn't work because, well, one thing, Western Australia, we have nothing to do with those guys. They look after themselves. They've got their own system of supporting
Actually,
themselves.
yeah.
But imagine if they decided what was going to happen for us in South Australia. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm
But there's
concerned it's
somewhere-
going to divide the Aboriginal nations further and cause division and fighting more so with them.
Isn't there somewhere in Western Australia there's this little village sort of thing that's its own thing? It's its own little...
Oh, I think you're talking about they've made their own country. They've
What?
separate a commune or something that's separated themselves from, and they've made their own country. So they refuse to pay taxes and they refuse to be a part of the rest of, and they've created, but I'm not quite sure how that
No.
goes in reality land. But I have heard of that one. We should do that. I might do that. Anyway.
I can't remember what it's called though.
No, I can't remember either. So, yes, it is. There's, it's very hard to know what to do because on the flip side, I'm voting no. I'm not a racist at all. I just do not trust it's got nothing, because the other side is saying that we're a bunch of racists if we say no, and it's just not true. I mean, some people are racist on both sides. We could say that all of the left who are voting yes are complete racists because they want to divide the nation by by race. But no, you can vote no, and it doesn't mean you're a racist. Clearly, I'm not a racist, and but because of the way that mainstream media pushes things and the way that mainstream people think, the rest, if the country votes no, Australia will be seen as a bunch of racists because of the agenda that the left are pushing to the rest of the world. That's just not true. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess, I don't know, when is the referendum? Next week, the week after? I think they've even had this referendum before and it didn't go through.
Isn't it? Is it this weekend?
It could be, maybe. I just can't wait till
Can
it's
you,
over.
turn that off?
Yeah, I just thought we'd have this nice chat and
Yes.
put it
I'm
out,
still-
put it on
I'm
record
still
video.
not sure. If we vote no, that means we
Things just stay the same. The
Stay-
Constitution doesn't change.
no. If we vote yes, that means they get into Parliament.
No, it's
no.
not even about getting into Parliament.
See, I
There's
still
already
don't get it.
there are already a lot of Aboriginal parliamentarians, and
Well, that's what I was thinking.
so it's got nothing to do with that. Anyone can stand for Parliament. Anyone can get their own party together, and there are many Aboriginal representatives, or biracial, I would say, biracial representatives in Parliament, and it means that I don't know. I actually don't know. They say it's about putting something in the Constitution to mean that the Aboriginal people, 2 representatives from each state, can go into Parliament and talk about Aboriginal issues. But again, how can they just choose 2? How does it actually work? But anyway, but Parliament can say yes or no anyway. So they can go in there and say, hey, we would like a new school in Oodnadatta, right? And Parliament
So
can
there has
say...
to be a vote.
What?
Is
No,
there a vote for
no.
that?
I think that's
No.
just they just go and say, hey, we would like a new school in Oodnadatta, and then the government say yes or no anyway. So it's just giving them a voice. It's pointless. And the thing is, they already have a voice. They're like any other Australian that can go in and say, hey, go to your local member of parliament and say, we would like this here. We need this there. And the other thing I'm thinking is, I think about $400 million have gone in. Yes, darling? $400 million have gone into this referendum from the government. $400 million could have gone straight into helping struggling Indigenous communities right now. What a waste of $400 million. And if they're not being given a voice now, they're not going to be given a voice in the, you know. And the other thing I'm concerned about is big mining corporations are backing this thing.
Oh, yes.
Rio Tinto, BP, all these different multinational corporations, giants. And I've got to say, why? I think they're after a land grab. I think they're going to deceive. I think that this is something by the
needs to go.
World Economic Forum. They're trying to grab the land, and they're going to dangle this carrot to, you know, vulnerable Indigenous communities, and then they're going to take the land from them. That's what I think. They're going to manipulate them. I don't know, though. I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
The whole thing.
But anyway, that's enough of that. Love you. Gonna love you. Gonna leave you. Gonna take you to your party.